Okay, now that we've spoken about the different behaviors to kind of look for and the different staff members, these are things I think, these tips that you should question to see where in these different spectrum they fall into. Now, number one, I would say when they come to work, how are they engaging? Are they engaging with everyone? Are they engaging only with certain people? Are they saying hello throughout the day? Sometimes everybody's up, ready to go, ready to start to work, and they're happy. But then by the time their shift is over, the event is over, they're crashing. They don't want nothing to do with anybody. So think about how they are interacting, engaging when they actually come to work. Second, who do they gravitate to? Some people always get real close with the other employees. Other people really just want to connect with the management team, people who are above them, people who are higher than them. The reason is because they are looking for growth. They are looking to be able to connect, to know somebody in a higher position so that they can be like, oh yeah, when they are looking to move up themselves, they know, who they rub shoulders with. So that is always important to see who do they gravitate to, either management or other staff members. Who are they buddy with? Third, do they share their life story? The reason I say this is that a person that falls in the I got it, they're more open to sharing, oh, I'm going to do this after work. Oh, my spouse is doing this, my children. So you don't really have to say or even ask them directly. They're very open about what they have going on in their life. Other people, because they're not really connected, they want to keep distance from work and life, they're not going to share that. So just kind of, see who is more engaging, who is open, who's, saying what's going on. Others will be very far away. So this is the best way to kind of categorize them. So you got the number 4 is, are they asking for help? Are they afraid to speak up? You want to be mindful for your team that they are asking for assistance, that they do they do it themselves? Do they prefer to not say nothing because they prefer to do it for themselves, or because they just do not want to look like, that they're asking too many questions? Or are they nervous? Or are they scared? So really engage the employee, understand the employee to see how they're asking for help, or if they're even asking for help anyways. Okay. Now, how do they work? Now, what I mean by that, are they independent? Do they stay in their little cubicles? Do they stay in the corner of the store? If you have them in different booths at your shop, do they just kind of stay in their corner? Do they just engage with what is happening within the location? If they are slow workers, they're not going to talk to people. They're just trying to get caught up. But are they slow workers because they're just trying to make their day long or trying to work longer hours? So you kind of have to see their kind of work ethics, how fast, how slow, how focused they are with what's going inside the location. Then I will also say how they respond when you try to help. Now, as a leader, as the manager, as the business owner, they may be very open to you helping. So sometimes they're very put off. For example, in certain, any position really, if a person has a skill for something, they may be open to seeing someone who is in a higher position helping them. But sometimes because they're very independent, maybe they're a contractor, maybe they're here just for temp, they are not looking for you to help them. Just give them what they need to do and that's it. They avoid communicating with you. So if they're responsive, if they're, receptive to your help, for you reaching out, then that's great. Then you know that they'll fall into the superstar or the I got it. But if they're pushing away, they're really not saying anything, you help them and there's no like, oh, thank you, or kind of just really very happy that you helped, then you might be falling into the need a minute staff member. Okay, just to summarize what I just mentioned, how to kind of categorize your team based on these things to look for. When they come to work, how are they engaging? Who they gravitate to? Do they share their life story or things that are happening in their lives? Are they asking for help? How do they work? How fast or slow, their work pace? When and how they respond to when you try to help them as their manager or as the owner of the company. So those are things to kind of help categorize where to put your staff members. The reason why it's important to have an idea of where they are is so you know where you need them to be. For example, you are the one that's going to create the culture of your company. We'll talk more about corporate culture or the environment, but depending on if you have a very engaging team, if you find someone that's not engaging, they may not be the right person for your team, or you just have to find a way to see if you can interact with them and see if you can kind of sway them to that side, because that's your company culture. So this is the reason why I say that. You categorize them in these 3 areas, look for those different things to kind of see where they fit. Now, let me just tell you a little story. There was a gentleman that I knew, he actually worked for a big company, and he was at different facilities. His job was to hire temps to come and do certain jobs like forklifting, all these different things to build certain structure for the facility. He says to me, he works with employees where they come to work, they don't come to work, it's whatever. Then he has people who are more older, who are mature, so they know the value of putting in the hard work. So he asked me, what do you think I can do to help motivate his staff? Because they're coming from temp agencies, you get a whole walk of life of different people who are needing a job. So they're here, but he wants them to understand that this company has really has a lot of potential. So he says to me, what can I do? And I said, well, do you know them personally? He said, no. I was like, okay, do you want to know them? I mean, if you want to motivate them, you want to know what's their drive, right? And he was like, no. So I said, okay. So I started giving him pointers. And after a long conversation, he realized that he just wanted to get these people to do their job. He wasn't here to know about their life. He didn't care about what was going to get them to be motivated, what was their drive. He just needed them to do their job. So I said, you know what? Just keep on doing what you're doing, because you do not have the tolerance for it. So if that is the culture you want to set, you kind of decide the direction you want to go with your employees.